Libra, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are a returning subscriber, you have my love. I appreciate you so very much. If you're brand new to the channel or just cross-watching, I'm JT. Sometimes the day-to-day grind in these cards, they line out. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes the major arcana show up and they line out. Sometimes they don't. Don't hate the reader. I'm just going to try to give you as many explanations of this general reading that I possibly can, okay? With that being said, keep in mind, I also always put your haiku poems right before your reading. All right. Libra, I wish for you health, wealth, stability. I wish for you in this reading clarity, comfort. I hope that your love life is coming into design the way you've manifested it. Your financial means are being met. I wish for you freedom, your choice. I hope that people around you are beginning to understand who you truly are as a person. Peace, calm, tranquility. May you get some understanding from this reading. Let's talk about this current energy, crossing challenge, the foundation, the recent past, possibilities, the near future, the self, the environment, hopes, fears, wishes, or worries, and the outcome and the direction. All right, Libra, I'm going to take a second to check out these cards, and while I'm doing that, I have your haiku poems ready. I'll be right back and we'll get started. Okay, Libra. Anytime the reading starts off with your major arcana card, which most of you do know that Justice represents Libra, this means that you are in alignment. Something's about to unfold for you. You've got a King of Cups and an Ace of Cups in your energy. I feel like love is returning for you. I feel like this is a reading that's going to speak about that. You've done the work, you've put in the work. Anyway, if you're down for this reading, we're going to talk about it, okay? All right, Libra, opening up. Yeah. This is I'm not settling. Everything opens. This is new love. It's clarity, emotional truth, right? This is going to be powerful for somebody here. Like I said, I feel like this is like this magical reset. It's got, it's got the person. Yeah, there's some teeth in this reading, but I'm saying I feel like somebody may have misjudged you, and they're going to try to make an amends. I'm going to talk about that with these kings here, okay? A past relationship, that's watching your social media, something like that, or for some of you, this may be like the late night text. Okay, this is that. Um, I'm getting like this unexpected emotional kind of a situation for some of you. Okay, this could have been like that person that breadcrumbed you. They want to talk, that because they feel like maybe you're pulling away, something like that. And so I just got this feeling like late at night you're going to get this text. Maybe around 3 to 6 week mark. For some reason, I've got that 3 to 6 weeks in my head here. But this is unexpected clarity, during that conversation where, I think that person's finally going to admit to you what they've been hiding. Okay. For some of you, this could look like some kind of a legal contract or legal matter. It could be like a divorce for some of you. I don't mean to put a sting on anything. Take it with a grain of glitter, but I'm just saying Some kind of a financial issue or something's about to resolve in your favor. Okay. Um, Maybe you notice somebody kind of mirroring your behavior. Like I said, I do feel like there is a masculine energy here who kind of sees, maybe he feels contracted to you. Okay. And this is like waking this person up here. And so I just get this feeling like this is going to be a message out of nowhere here. Okay. Someone, I don't know, maybe who once chose like another person or something's like, they're questioning that choice. So, it's kind of like a, I mean, revenge is bittersweet, right? But there it is. I said it. This could look like a karmic cycle ending for some of you. I'm not chasing, and when you stop chasing, right, what happens? They start noticing. Okay. So this has got, that past situationship, I feel like, that feminine energy. I'm done over giving, and, starts matching the energy instead, right? So, anyway, the human behavior in this has got like hesitation. There's somebody out there who's, they're about to type this text up to you. They delete the damn thing. And they're watching your socials because they don't know if you even like them, or for some of you, it could have been a past relationship or somebody coming back. I do have the Six of Cups in here. We're going to talk about it, but I just feel like this is about accountability, and for the feminine energy, it'd be like the boundaries, this emotional clarity about to break through. Some of you could be waking up about 1:11 in the morning with some dreams. 1:11's got that alignment, right? But anyway, this is about making choices that is going to match what you are in value now. How you feel about yourself. Okay, so we're going to talk about this challenge card, right? This crossing challenge. We got this Queen of Cups energy. Look, she's all about the ebb and flow. Okay, and once again, I need to give you the old grain here, right? Take it with a grain of glitter. This is not going to sting. It's not going to bite because it's not about you. It's emotional overflow. This is about how you have cared so deeply, and sometimes I feel like maybe you lost yourself in that process, right? We've been there before. Just about everybody in this community, they come to tarot because of that reason, right? So somebody who's like relying on your empathy may not be giving you the same emotional kind of safety in return here. So that's that sting, that's that bite. But it's like intuitively, this, okay? So it's got you torn between like compassion and then just protecting yourself, okay? So, I do feel like there may be a past lover in this situation, okay? Or something that's triggering some old wounds, a situationship for some of you, a past relationship for others. But it's like someone is definitely sensing that jealousy, and I feel like they're hiding it, and maybe you're tempted to check their social media, even when that might bring up some old past, um, wounds or some kind of a some kind of a karmic situation, right? Some kind of a past pattern, right? But this is attracting emotionally unavailable. I can't speak right. This is like you've attracted emotionally unavailable. Damn, I can't get that word out. Unavailable people, right? Because you're in tune with yourself, you know, and and so that's bringing out that mirrored effect in other people, right? So you may be recognizing that. Like this could look like a third party, maybe sensing your connection, and becoming reactive. Like I said, it's got, I don't know. I'm afraid of being too much, too sensitive. And so that's a little bit of that sting. That's a little bit of that bite, but it's not you. It's like they want to avoid those deep conversations, while you're in that emotional presence, right? They say, I'm fine when they're not. So this is about some kind of something that's about to come to light for you. Okay. And like I said, the feminine energy here is definitely, um, it's emotional saturation. It's just got a lot of emotions involved here. Okay, we're going to move on though. We're going to talk about this foundation, and here's where it starts to take this turn, this interesting turn for you, Libra. It's that King of Wands energy. Look, there's no doubt. This is fire. It's just passion. This could be that past relationship. It could have been just steamy, smoky, hot, right? Could be talking about any of the fire signs too. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Don't have to be, but we could be here. Um, But this is like the foundation of the story here. This is somebody who is bold or is bold, somebody who's charismatic, they got that confidence about them, but they're deeply attracted to you. you know, um, and they may have been inconsistent in the past, right? But their desire for you is unmistakable, and you know who this is, okay? Um, I don't know. This has got the little bit of jealous, you know, a little bit of I'm watching your post, right? I want to see who's commenting. I want to know who they are. I'm not going to necessarily compare myself to them, but I want to know what type of people. I just want to know what you're into. You know, this is a they flirted with you intensely, right? But they kind of pulled back. Um, Maybe when their feelings got a little bit deep because they didn't know how to emotionally regulate, right? So I'm gonna stalk your posts late at night. You know, I want to see who you used to date. You know, this person's got. I'm fantasizing about you. Yes, I'm looking at you, and I am not going to tell you about those fantasies. You know what I'm saying? This is. I want to impress you. Um, it could be a little territorial when somebody else shows some kind of a interest in you. You know, but this is definitely that late night text. You know, hey, you up? What's up? How you doing? But I don't know. They're imagining a future with you, but I don't think they may have said this to you yet. For some of you, this could be like just coming into this. For others, this you could be past this right now. Just like I don't know. This is I'm going to brag about you subtly. You know, maybe I'm going to stand a little bit close to you. You may work around this person. I'm not sure, or some kind of a like a friend group or somebody. But you know, I'm watching your lips as you talk. You know, and I'm standing up, fantasizing at the same time. Anyway, yeah, it's definitely got masculine energy, pursuit, right, and that feminine energy is just magnetism. It's glow up. You know. All right. So anyway, but I feel like there's some kind of a commitment type of energy that's about to form here, even if it's unspoken. And like I said, I still got that 3 to 6 week marker here, so you guys keep that in mind. There's something within that 3 to 6 weeks here. Okay, let's look at this recent past, and we've got this Four of Pentacles once again. You know, um, it's going to poke an old bruise, but look, here's the kicker. Somebody held back on you. You know, whether that's emotionally or financially or something or just energetically, like you may have felt like a little shut out here, okay, undervalued, maybe like you were doing, you know, all the effort of putting into this, you know, the starting of this relationship, you know, whatever that may represent for you. But, you know, a person may have chose a little bit of their own comfort, you know, over growth here. And so I don't know, maybe it was just dealing with somebody who was like emotionally stingy, right? You felt like, you know, just begging for the crumbs, and that bullshit right there is just that's all I can say, right? We know how this feels, but for some of you, it could look like a third party may have influenced their behavior. You may have noticed them talking to people, and then shortly after that, there comes that stinginess, right, or something, just a pullback, something. For others of you, this could have just been a time about, you know, maybe some like financial restrictions or something like that, you know. But I just got the sense that I don't know. There's just that fear of vulnerability here. Like I said, we do got those two kings. We're going to talk about it, but I feel like that's what it might be. So pay attention. It's the one who's, you know, avoiding that eye contact, right? Especially when deep feelings come up, that type of deal. So somebody's just trying to keep something maybe like on the surface level here, right? Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about this possibilities. Okay, we got the star. We've got the star. We could be dealing with an Aquarian here, Aquarius energy. For some of you, doesn't have to be, but could be. This is a hope returning for you. Okay, this is like, you know, you're healing. It's becoming very real to you. I don't know. Maybe you sense like something that you may have like, I don't know, whispered into the ether like months ago. It's starting to materialize for you. You know, and you're just kind of catching just a glimpse of it. Excuse me. I don't know, maybe somebody just sees you as like their guiding light here, you know, even if they haven't said it yet. And I do feel like there's definitely some kind of a soulmate type connection that's about to strengthen here. We got this King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. We're going to get there, but I'm just saying, somebody's about to confess some feelings towards you. You know, maybe somebody, I don't know, maybe some of you may have like gained a new follower that holds some kind of significance. You know, if you're like if you're a YouTuber or, you know, collaborator of some type with your own business or something like that. But this has that energy that like um I don't know, like some kind of a creative opportunity is about to appear because, it's who you know, right? You go viral or gain some kind of visibility. Okay. I don't know. I see you. I used to have a relationship with you. I see you glowing, right? And I don't know, and that could be part of their regret, right? You're blowed up, and they're like, they're deflated. So it could look like a long distance connection that's about to deepen, also. But I feel like at this time, it's like I don't know, everything's just flowing right. I feel spiritually connected. I'm believing in love again. That's uh, that's where we're moving towards. So I'm guessing that's probably why this star is showing up here. Okay. Um, anyway, it's got masculine and feminine energy both. So the masculine energy would kind of look like, just like I said, from the outside, looking at the admiration. I admire the hell out of you, and this feminine energy is just radiance, glowing here. Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about this near future. This near future, we got this Six of Cups. All right. Look, this could look like a past love. This could look like a past relationship. Once again, um, this is tender, it's nostalgic, but it's emotionally kind of honest here, right? It's like someone from your past reaching out, a childhood friend or something like that. That for some of you, it might look like some kind of a romantic, something returning there. But for others, this could be that soulmate returning after they finally grow the hell up here. Okay. That masculine that says, "Hey, I miss the hell out of you. I need to see you, or I need to." Anyway, the feminine energy is softening up and opening up, and so this is opportunity to revisit a place. It's like tied to old memories here. Okay. Or some of you could be, like I said, some of that old tunes coming back. You are the one in the car jamming out, right? I told you it's that license plate's just buzzing, that trunk's buzzing. I turn around and I look and I see you, and this is you jamming to these tunes. It's got that kind of energy in it. Okay. But that song from the past plays at the perfect moment, and you think of that person. That would be the synchronicity in that card. So just kind of pay attention to it. But definitely a karmic cycle completing here. Okay. Old memories, I've been thinking about you, that kind of energy here. So what I'm getting at is, if you look for the synchronicities, this could look like something from like a reunion or a class reunion or some kind of a gathering at an outdoor event or something like that. There's that kind of a, uh, opportunity, like to run into that person or meet that person. Okay. That's got that nostalgic kind of a energy. All right. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about this self card here, the chariot, right? Definitely talking about the Cancer type energy here. Excuse me. You're moving forward. I'm moving forward with purpose. Okay. You're gathering the reins of your own life. The chariot, he doesn't move by force. I say he, you don't have to be gender specific, but I'm saying, the chariot moves without force. It's all by willpower. It's all by the strength. So this has got that energy of, I'm not shrinking anymore. I'm choosing myself. And when you're doing that, those choices you're making are changing everything in your life. From the new project at business, the travel or relocating, leaving that job that was just depleting you, right? This is the boundaries that shock everyone here. Okay. It's gaining momentum in your career, your love life, all of that. So all of those things are applying here, right? You're attracting someone who can match your pace. For some of you, this is like, I just got a brand new car, or I upgraded, some type of transportation. For others, it's like it's definitely like taking control of your finances. And for some of you, like I said, if this applies, it's definitely more confident in the love area here. Okay. So this is I'm not apologizing for existing any longer. You know, my life is moving forward here. So it's got the masculine energy is defined by like direction, and the feminine energy would look like determination here. Okay, so some of you could be seeing synchronicities around this card too, like repeating initials. You know, someone with matching initials or something like that might be significant here. Anyway, this is a timing card that says, like, when you're focused on something completely off the scale, that's whenever this energy just, you know, I think you're going to recognize this. Okay. Definitely that movement. We're going to talk about this Four of Cups energy in this environment. All right. Another soft landing for you. Someone around you is emotionally withdrawn. It's distraction, it's overwhelmment. And they may be missing the opportunity that's right in front of them. And that opportunity is right here. It's you. Okay. You're the divine offering, right? And so, um, because I know they sense your glow up, your build up, moving on in love and financial means, that type of energy, it's like, I'm afraid to reach out now because I don't know, maybe you've moved on or so. In the feminine energy, it's just I'm emotionally exhausted with putting up with that shit, right? Or the masculine energy, you could feel like just unworthy, So, but this is someone comparing themselves to that glow up of yours, right? We did talk about a little bit of that third party kind of a distraction, but I don't know. It's just a distraction, and it doesn't fulfill them, right? I'm still watching your stories. I'm not reacting to them because I don't know. Maybe I feel like I missed a chance here. Did they miss a chance, Libra? I don't know. They're waiting for the perfect moment to talk. You might be pulled back a little bit, healing from something. I don't know, they're scared of rejection. You're afraid to like move forward in this situation too because you've been there, right? So I don't know. This could look like that sigh, right before they open up your message because they're expecting something in return that says, uh, hey, it's over, it's done, or something like that. So there's definitely like a hesitation here and an emotional fatigue. But I don't know. Their energy is trying to reconnect, with you. So anyway, we're going to talk about the hopes, fears, wishes, and worries. And you know, I want emotional maturity. You want emotional maturity. Someone that can definitely meet you where you are, right? And so you kind of, like I said, you had that Four of Cups energy. It's kind of like, you fear falling for someone who's kind of like hiding their feelings, or or you don't want somebody to struggle, right, to express them. So that King of Cups energy is now here. The King is emotionally grounded here. This is the masculine energy that loves you. Okay, they may fear a little bit of vulnerability, but I feel like there's definitely that someone who wants to confess. Okay, um, you want someone to choose you, right? And so you kind of fear like being too forgiving in this situation, but this has got hopefulness in it. Okay, soulmate connection. So stop worrying about the timing of this situation. There's emotional depth in this, right? There is. I think you might be getting some goose flesh thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? This is the hair standing up on its end. Okay, and for good reason. Okay, because your outcome and your direction here is the Ace of Cups, right? All the way at the end of the reading. It usually always ends this way. I know everybody's like, I wish this shit would come out at the first, but you had to go through the first, right? We've all got a journey we're on here. This is the fresh start with someone, okay? They genuinely want to pour into you, and I'm talking about physically, mentally, emotionally, the whole nine. This is the year you're going to say yes, okay? And I feel like this is going to be reciprocated to you. This is a heartfelt message. This is the soulmate entering your life. For some of you, it's a spiritual awakening, in love or just in the spiritual realm. But I feel like you're going to choose someone who's going to choose you back here. That's what this card is representing. I smile when I think of your name. You know what I mean? This is the person that initiates more here. This is the one that shows the effort. This is the one that shows up. The masculine in this card is definitely got that offering kind of of energy. The feminine is definitely in the receiving. So this is for you, Libra. This is that meaningful conversation that's going to change everything here. You're wanting clarity. 2026 is the year you stop negotiating, right? When your reading opens up with justice, Libra, you are justice, because this is all about the karmic rebalancing here. The universe is trying to say, hey, I'm about to pour out. You're stepping into kind of a deeper self-trust with this card. And there's definitely a love story that I don't know, for some of you, it feels pretty familiar. And for some of you, kind of like brand new. So I don't know. Somebody still feels you from the past, But I feel like the real magic here is like I said, it's definitely rising up in your connections. Okay, so hey, the Star card, the Ace of Cups, it's all about healing. It's about hope. It's about a new beginning, you know. And I feel like you're definitely becoming really aligned with this energy. So Libra, cool reading. That's pretty awesome that your card shows up right in the present energy. Major Arcana. Minor Arcana is our day-to-day grind. The Major Arcana is here to say, hey, pay attention to this, right? So anyway, I hope you got something from it. I hope that there was clarity for some, you know, confirmation for others. Anyway, Libra, I'm going to leave last week's reading at the end of this video, so make sure you check them out. Let me know anything in the comments you'd like to say or post. So anyway, I love you. I appreciate you. I hope I get to see you on the next readings, okay? All right. Bye-bye.